Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm Rob. And let's get the show on the road.
Where was the... Whoa. Let's redo that. Joined as always with the enthusiastic Rob.
By me, I'm Rob. And let's get the show on the road.
Wow, do we have to, go ahead and, give you some coffee here, Rob? That was not a typical intro for you. Are you all right? Are you all right?
I'm tired.
Can I help you? Point to the doll where they touched you. Oh God, he actually has a doll. Oh, you're butthurt. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So today we got some updates to give you guys on the never-ending saga to have a functional offensive line, as well as also the the Week 7 picks we got to go over with you guys here, because we got a lot of good games. This got some really exciting ones, guys. I'm kind of psyched for a few of these games. A couple of these games, I'm like, do I have to watch this really? But
I mean, we'll get into the games too after we talk about as the O-line turns.
Yeah, we got some pretty good ones here. Oh yes. So yeah, as the O-line turns. So, first up, a move that I think pretty much everybody expected. Justin Pugh has been added to the active roster. Listen, he was probably our best offensive lineman we had in the field on Sunday night. Not that saying much. I could have been the second best. But again, it's good that we're at least accepting the problem. We're trying to move forward. And, hopefully Thomas and JMS are able to come back. Could you imagine how much better the line looks with Andrew Thomas, Ben Bredesen, JMS, Justin Pugh, Evan Neal? Or dare I say Evan Neal, Justin Pugh, depending how they want to do the guard tackle scenario.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. We're talking about Pugh, Neal, and Bredesen all in the lineups, talking about how much better the line will look.
Yeah. I mean, but it's 10 times better than what we've been putting out there. I mean, just having Andrew Thomas and JMS back alone, I think those two guys are potentially the best two offensive linemen we have right now. And both of them have been out for multiple weeks now. So we need you back, guys. We need you.
Please come back.
We miss you. We miss you so.
The general, please come back.
All right. So, again, good news there. More good news. The Giants have righted a wrong. For those of you guys who watch us on a regular basis, remember that both me and Rob were ranting and raving when they cut a Tyre Phillips off the roster, who, of course, went on to the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad, as we see Dakota here in the chat room. He's maybe familiar with him now. So he's back on. Obviously played 12 games with the Giants last year, including 5 starts when Evan Neal was hurt. And don't get me wrong, he didn't light it up, but he wasn't an embarrassment either. He was better than what we've been having lately. I'll put it that way. Yeah. He was like, okay, he's there. Didn't do anything good. Didn't do anything bad. Just saying. So.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely wasn't a dumpster fire nor trash. So he was good enough to hang out there. And if you were calling trash, he was in a nice PVC surrounded fence, very tactically put back in the back. Standing his ground.
I can see the scouting report now. Tyre Phillips, he's not trash. He's not a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Held his own.
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of sad. We're excited about re-signing Tyre Phillips, but yeah, we are excited about re-signing Tyre Phillips. And to be very frank, it should have been never something we had to do, because he's better than Matt Pert. He's better than Shane Lemieux. He's better than some of the bums we kept on for some unknown, God knows reason. So glad to see him back. We also picked up Josh Miles off the Falcons practice squad, which I got to be honest and say is a little bit of a head scratcher for me there. Just looking at what we have on him, 7th round pick for the Cardinals back in 2019, played 17 games in total for the Cardinals in that time period. Only had 23 offensive snaps, though. Did play both sides of the line. So I don't know if in those 23 snaps the Giants saw something they liked or what the deal is. But yeah, it's just a little crazy. It's a little crazy.
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to do the magic they had last year around this time. Let's pick up some talent that we didn't think had talent, and let's make the best of it.
Or maybe Joe Shane just liked his college tape a lot. I was like, oh, I remember scouting him. Let's get him. That could be part of it. I mean, sometimes you get these guys who haven't really played very much. That's what happens. You get guys that you go, oh, I remember scouting them when they were coming out. And because that's sometimes the best tape you have on them. So, yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what they see on him because, listen, some of these guys that we do have on the IR now and are hurt right now, they're going to be coming back eventually. And when that happens, some guys got to go bye-bye. So,
yeah.
That may be what it is. Is Josh Miles is just, a temporary Band-Aid that we hope we don't have to use, but we're going to have. So, yeah, in this, as you say, the segue there. Bye-bye to Lawrence Cager. Lawrence Cager has been cut in the process. Obviously, a guy we picked up last year from the Jets was a converted wide receiver trying to play tight end. Was basically the wish version of Darren Waller. We don't really need him. We need a guy who can block. So, somebody could pick him up down the line. He's still a legit NFL player, I think, a fringe NFL player at the very worst case. Josh Zudu also been placed on the IR, hence some of these moves being made because we don't have a single goddamn tackle. Pretty much. No. We got Evan Neal, we got Pugh, who played in the pinch, and we have Matt Pert, who's also hurt, and then Andrew Thomas, who's also hurt. So, yeah.
So many injuries.
Yeah, so it's funny here. I'm trying to we're talking, but I'm also getting distracted by the side comments here in YouTube land.
There's so many good ones.
Oh my gosh, we got people fighting and being nice and just combination. It's love the group, guys. Love the group. It's awesome. It's awesome. I love it. I love how it's like the comment section is turning in some episodes into like the show within the show, basically. It's like I'm waiting for the people like I'm here for the comment. Shut up, Drew and Rob. It's gonna happen. So those of you in podcast land, start watching if you can live on YouTube. I'm telling you guys, it's a good group of people. It's always a good time. All right, on the Daniel Jones front here, we had to give a little update to Daniel Jones because there's all kinds of fake news going around. There's a guy on Twitter who has a Jordan Rondon fake account. Took the same picture, just changed it very slightly, the name, and people keep thinking that it's Jordan Rondon every time he posted it. I fell for it last week almost. I shared it to Rob
for a hot 30 seconds.
Yeah, today. I shared it to Rob, and I was like, "Oh, look, it looks like we signed Carson Wentz stuff." And then I wait a minute, hold on, this isn't it. That's a fake one. Literally like a minute later, and I know a lot of some content creators even I saw putting things out based on this guy's tweets. So whoever's got this burner account now, good to them. They're doing pretty good. But they put on there yesterday
definitely a troll.
Daniel Jones has been put on the IR and will be out for the next 4 games. And yeah, that's fake news, guys. It's a hashtag fake news.
100%.
So yeah, don't worry about that. That's not going on. He did practice today. Even we're talking about practice. Limited in practice, obviously. No contact whatsoever. We still don't know what's going to happen. But we'll have to find out. It's going to be a game time decision, I think. And I don't think it's a game time decision in reality. I think the Giants just aren't going to say anything because they want to have that element of surprise, so to speak, for the game. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But that's the type of move that Dable would do. I'm not going to tell you who's going to be the quarterback. You're going to guess, and I'll let you know half an hour before the game starts.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So it forces the Commanders to go ahead and scout both quarterbacks. It's an edge. This team needs every edge it can get. Dable likes having every edge. So yeah, So we're going to go into it here. Before we get into the games here, let's go to some of the comments here. I'm going to skip over the witty banter between the commenters because that's just it's funny, but like I said, I'll leave you guys to it. And I got to leave something for people that actually need to go to the YouTube at that point. Remember, it's youtube.com/@2GiantGoofballs. So first up, we got Dakota talking because, his team did lose. He says, we lost. Rub it in. Listen, I'm not going to rub it in because I'm going to be very frank with you guys. As much as I hate the Eagles, you guys are 5-1, dude. I wish I was 5-1.
I mean, the only thing I can say is I had Bryce Hall in my fantasy, and that's about it.
I mean, I still stand by what I've said. I've said that the Eagles are overrated. I think their luck has been in their 5-1 because there's been a lot of close games. But hell, luck was in our side last year. We won a lot of close games. So, luck is part of the game sometimes. So, it's just got to be embarrassing losing to, Zach Wilson of all people. But,
Dare I say the worst 5-1 team out there?
You know what? Probably in my mind. And like I said, it's not a disrespect to them that are 5-1. I mean, like I said, I'd take 5-1 in a heartbeat. I'd gladly be called the worst 5-1 team in football. But like I said, yeah.
I said it jokingly, but at the same time, like when it comes to the MC, I think Eagles come to number 3 right now when it comes to power rankings.
Yeah. Let's see. Connor says on at 9. It's 9:09. Drew, can you tell time? Yes, I can tell time. I just happened to had to restart my computer, Connor. Wow.
My watch is broken.
I appreciate that you guys like us so much, though, that you're being impatient, Connor. That just shows you, like, I need some goofball time. Here we are, Connor. Here we are.
9 minutes goofing off before the goofball time.
Exactly. Let's see here. Looks like we have another podcaster on here. The Detroit Darcy, Detroit Lions News, asking for a link, and then said no because we didn't send a link. And then says, you're not the Lions. And then tells us to hit them up. And it says, have a great show. I'll say this. I love supporting other content creators, guys. We don't just throw the link out there, though. Because, unfortunately, there are some people out there that do content creation that, quite frankly, shouldn't be. Just not that good at it. I don't just put anybody on the show. Second off, I don't know who that person is. For all I know, they're just messing with us and trying to get on the show to say something stupid. So, listen, anybody listening is a content creator. We're happy to have you guys. Listen, I invite people on all the time that we know and respect at that point there. We've had a lot of different people on over the, the year plus we've been doing this, former players, other content creators, members of the media. We're glad to have people on, but the right channels is just send us an email to giantgoofballs@mail.com or hit us up on one of our social media accounts, and we're happy to see what we can do to help out there. All right, back to the rest here. So let's see, we got Dakota and Connor going at it for a while here.
Maybe we can leave their explicits up there.
Cager is gone. Dakota says, never a cage between you and I. Beef says, look like DJ might play this week. Thank God. You got to get Taylor out of there. He cost us the game last week. It cost us the game. I can give both at that point there. So he made a boneheaded mistake at the end of the first half. He did. 100%. May have cost us the game. But we may not have been so close with DJ either. We don't know. That's the thing. It's hard to go back and do that kind of stuff there. But
there's too many different variable factors.
Yeah, but we have gone over the numbers. He did much better under pressure than DJ has this year.
Yeah,
this is a bad offensive line. I think that's an important skill. I still stand by that.
Yes, I mean, that was Pugh's first game back. Like, how much of a difference did he actually make? Barkley was also back for the first time after how many weeks of not playing. So there's a lot of different factors to go into there. Yeah, you can look at the pressures with it, but there's also a different status when you have a veteran player. That's helping lead the offensive line. And then you got Barkley, who's like a national team leader. So, like, who knows?
You don't know. And that's the same as saying that he cost us the game. You don't know because you can't go back in time, change that variable, and see what happens. You don't have that option.
1 week's not enough time to say who's better than what.
I will say this. While I respect everything Pugh did, I can't think that the offensive line got improved that much by pulling a 33-year-old guy off the couch coming off an ACL that hasn't played that position in 10 years.
No, but a guy that's been in the position's been in the NFL for a long time. You don't think some of these guys kind of looked up to him like, hey, what could you hear? You don't think he came over and gave some little leadership?
Oh, I'm sure he did, but I don't know how much of a difference it made with the ragtag bunch around him.
But sometimes it just takes that one different player to make a difference.
Listen, when your best offensive player is a 33-year-old who hasn't played the position in 10 years and is coming off an ACL injury. No, I'm saying it. He was the best offensive lineman we had in that game.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It could be like Heine, just like last year with the Commanders. Like, he was definitely by far not the best quarterback or talented out there. But you know what? He led the team. So that's what I'm kind of saying with people.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just playing devil's advocate there for you.
Yeah.
As typical. Deb says, I'm going to pull a Connor. I'm late. What did I miss?
Everything.
And Dakota says, no worries. Everyone loves you, Deb. Aw. The Eagles fans can be nice. And she says, why, thank you, Dakota. And then he says, watch out for Connor.
Love it.
Oh, my gosh. Then we got more of those two going back at it, back and forth. Let's see here. Greg, what's up? Ed says, Pugh comeback player of the year.
Hey, listen, that's not Greg. That's Al Bundy. He threw 5 touchdown passes.
Polk high.
Polk high.
And I think Greg actually, I think the name and the image looks familiar. I think he's actually a new follower of ours that found us while we're chatting on the Giant Insider podcast. So welcome aboard, Greg. So Pugh, if he is comeback player of the year, that'd be great. But he's got a long way to go for that. I'm not even so sure he starts the whole season with us, depending on how things go. To be honest, depending on what happens with the injuries, with the Zudu and that kind of stuff there. But at this point, he should be. And then for some random reason, Dakota's getting into a serial saying, if I only had to eat one, I'd probably pick Honey Bunches of Oats. And he says, but my secret treat is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And Greg says, yeah, I came back for more. Appreciate it, Greg, man. All right, let's get into our weekly picks here because we got a lot of games to go here. We're 20 minutes in. I know you guys don't want to stay here for 5 hours. We'll stay here for 5 hours. I got off to work tomorrow. Actually, Rob has work tomorrow. He won't be liking this 5-hour thing. But I'll stay on for 5 hours. What the hell?
Definitely not be on 5 hours. Love you guys, but
be like the draft night all over again. How many hours were the draft night? Was it 5 hours? I think we were crying towards the end. Like, oh my God, pick the last player already. Just pick him. You know who you want. Stop holding back.
It was like midnight as in this.
I know. I think next year I take off that weekend.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
I think so. It's a personal day because personally I want to watch the draft.
Exactly.
My boss is listening. I will authentically be sick. I will not be faking.
It's a black lie.
All right. So before we get into the games here this week, let's give a recap of where we're at here because I think Rob is trying to use the black lung as an excuse not to go over his results from last week.
Who are we talking about? We were pretty close last week.
Oh,
it came down to Monday Night Football.
I think I extended my lead.
You just barely.
I still did.
Just barely. It literally came down to Monday Night Football.
Bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your fears.
So going into Monday Night Football.
I don't know why that popped in my head for you saying barely, but it did. Yeah. He's like, I'm just going to ignore that and go right back into that.
Yep. That's exactly what I did right there.
Listen, when you can make Rob give that what the fuck look, you know he did something right.
Drew and I going into Monday Night Football. When we recorded on Monday night, we were tied. Night. We were tied 9 straight up against for the picks.
Oh, excuse me.
8.
No, we weren't. I was up. I was 10. You had 9.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Let's not shortcome me there.
Hey, you said come. We had 8 tied for the spread picks, and I was
Yep.
1 ahead of you on the for the over unders,
Yes.
and I was 2 ahead of you on the trifectas. Well, I picked wrong. Chargers just find ways.
Never
to
trust the Chargers.
Drew, you had 11 wins against the spread. You had 9 wins. I'm sorry, 9 wins against the spread. 11 wins straight up. You had 5 of the over-unders, which, wow. Talk about an underperforming week. We'll talk about that later. And you had 3 trifectas. Puts you at 63 straight-up picks, 48 on the year for the spreads. You have 46 correct in the over-under and 21 trifectas.
So I should say 14 games this week, just to give perspective for people as far as how the percentages of our picks. So I had 11 out of 14 for the wins, 9 out of 14 for the spreads. My over/under sucked. But
everyone sucks for this week.
But listen,
everyone,
if you can bet and get 9 of 14 picks right on the spreads every week, you're doing pretty damn good. I'll take that.
100%. I would have taken
here.
I would have taken 9 straight up. Puts me at 54 for the year. Don't talk about the straight ups, but come back to me when you talk about the spreads. I'm at 46 for the year. I'm at 44 for the over unders, and I got 19 trifectas going on.
Yep.
So still neck and neck.
I accept the win category. I'm really starting to pull away in the wins, I'll say.
Yeah, no one cares when they bet with the straight up picks. Everyone cares about the spreads.
I'm up 63 to 54 right now, okay?
Yeah, it takes 1 week, Drew. 2 weeks. They'll come back. Don't worry. You could toot your own horn for a few more weeks.
I'm tooting. Rootin' tootin'.
And you're going to run out all those beans in your gas, and I'll go right past you. Playing right along. Oh, yeah. Beans, magic fruit.
How about some more beans, Mr. Tardif? I think you've had enough.
You sounded more like the lady from Billy Madison. You want some more sloppy joes?
Extra sloppy. All right. Let's start them up for this week here.
All right, Thursday night football.
Thursday night.
Tomorrow night, you got the Jaguars, who have been fantastic of recent times against the Saints.
This year at least.
They pulled out last year in the second half too.
I'm just saying
for
their franchise record, I'm sure it's probably very much under 500.
They're probably closer to 400.
Yeah, they're not quite the Cardinals, but
yeah. All right, so you got the Saints going into New Orleans to play the Saints.
The Saints go in New Orleans to play the Saints?
No, the Jaguars go into. Sorry, they was trying to start that over again. Jaguars go into New Orleans to play the Saints. The Jags are given a point in this. That's a home field advantage, which is a flip of a coin on this.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the Saints have no offense. They can't put it together. They have a pretty solid defense, top 10, possibly top 5 this year. The over-under is 40. Drew, you're going to see a lot of these with the 4s and the 3s that start off these over-unders to overcorrect of the last weeks.
Yeah, last week, oh my God, we did so horrible.
Well, I think
just over-unders at least.
9,
we did horrible in the over-under.
I think 10. I'm pretty sure 10 of the 14 games went into the under.
Yeah,
it was in that ballpark. So
I had a ton of over, so it makes sense because I had a ton of over last week.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there's a betting style. Like when you look at the sports books, they went, "Oh wow, defense showed up." So there's an overcorrect on this, and I don't know how much of overcorrection is because it might be just closer to the line, telling everyone to, "Hey, bet on the over. Let's try this."
So I'm looking it up. I picked 5 unders last week, and 4 out of the 5 were right on the unders. It was just a low scoring week. It was a weird week.
Yeah. So, like I said, Jags are giving the one. Oh, the Saints are giving the one to the Jags,
which is crazy to me. That's crazy.
It's home field
say
advantage.
That? That's absolutely insane.
It is home field advantage. The Jags are playing way better. The only thing you got to look at is I know Trevor Lawrence had a knee issue. He was light practice.
Yep.
You don't know what he's going into. I don't think that really matters so much. ETN has been on a hot streak. You got Christian Kirk and you got our old Evan Ingram over there. They're both having
Calvin Ridley,
and they're all three of them having pretty good years. So
yep.
I think to go into New Orleans and come march it in, they win, to cover that spread, and do it in the under because the Saints don't know how to put up the points unless they're playing Bill Belichick this year.
I'm with you on everything except for something tells me it's going to be the over. I don't know why, it just does.
Well, the Saints have won 4 of their wins this year in the under. So
yeah,
I'm going to go with what's hot and what's going on.
I'm going with my gut. Oh, yeah.
It didn't work it didn't work so well for us in the over-unders last week, so.
Not the over-unders, but it worked the rest. I'll stick with it. If I can lose the one category and win the rest, I'm good.
That's fine with me because that means I got a trifecta right there. All right.
You go.
Going into Sunday, 1 o'clock. You got the Detroit Lions playing the Ravens, and probably one of the better games this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions are +3 in this game, which is amazing. You go into Baltimore, and they're going to give you 3. That's pretty much a home field advantage. Nothing else. Probably means that it's not going to be a dominant game, but the Lions are probably going to win. That's what Vegas is saying. And the over-under we got is at 42. Drew, you're up first.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that if the Giants weren't playing 1 o'clock this week, you bet your freaking butt I'd be watching this game. That's for sure. I'll probably just split between that and the red zone because it's going to be that kind of game, I think. But this is, I think, going to be a coming out party for the Lions, where I think people will finally respect them as a legit top tier team in the NFL, at least this year. I think we're all having a little trouble doing that because it's the Lions. Let's be honest, they've been kind of bad for ever. So, but I think this is that year where they're going to start moving things forward there. Great job by Dan Campbell and staff there. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win pretty wholeheartedly there. I think the 3 points is nothing compared to how much they're going to even win by, even at that point in reverse way there. So, I think they're going to win by like 10, 14 points. I think it's going to be that kind of a kill. I really just do. Ravens had trouble putting up points last week with the Titans at that point there. Field goal after field goal after field goal. You can't do field goals against the Lions. You're going to get your ass spanked, and not in the fun way.
No. Yeah, so you're taking over that one as well?
I'm taking over.
All right. I mostly agree with you. I actually think the Ravens are going to pull this one out. Their defense has been playing better.
You're like, I mostly agree with you, except you're wrong on who's going to win.
But hey, listen, I've been pretty solid on the spread. I went with the Lions in the spread. I also went in the over. My problem is to jump on this board is you got Montgomery that for the running back for the Lions is did not practice. He's been limited practice, hurt himself last week. Their second string running back has been injured. And when they played against the Chiefs, they were limited one dimension and they had a throw. They kept it as a lone scoring game. They won, but it was a closer I think it was Kansas City, but they kept it more of a close game. So I think it's going to be more like that. The Ravens are playing at home. They're coming off a big win. It was a get-right win, and their corners have been playing too good to leave it one-dimensional for Goff. So I kind of see Goff not playing as well as he has so far. Not saying he's not going to fall off his wagon, but it's going to be a closer game than some people are thinking.
We'll see. Like I said, I think this is going to be a coming out party. I really do.
I can see it going either way. This is a game that I just want to watch, have a beer, have some popcorn, maybe some nachos, and have a good time.
Nachos.
Just bet the over.
Speaking of food like this, I got to tell you, I went to this bar last night over here on the beach called The Dog and the Parrot, I think it was called, or something like that. I've never heard of this. You ever heard of a Scotch egg before?
It's like isn't it like a hard-boiled egg marinated in scotch or something and bourbon?
No, that'd be amazing too, though. It's a hard-boiled egg wrapped in sausage meat, coated in breadcrumbs, and then deep fried.
Oh damn, my cholesterol just went up. But that sounds delicious.
Right? Seriously. So they were out of them, but this is going to be a thing I'm going to have to try to make now because holy shnikey, that sounds amazing.
So when you say sausage meat, is it
Yes.
Stuff in the shell of the sausage, if you will?
No. You can get the loose
Like the crumbs,
loose,
the breadcrumbs of it.
No, you can get the loose sausage meat without it being in the actual casing and all.
Yeah.
So you just wrap the hard-boiled egg in that, then bread it, and then fry it.
So you're taking the hard-boiled egg, dipping it in raw egg, rolling around the sausage and the bread and then frying it.
No.
That's amazing.
No. You're covering the hard-boiled egg in sausage meat.
Yeah,
Then
but
you're covering that in egg, and then you're going ahead and putting the breading on.
But how does it stick to hard-boiled egg? You have to use the baseline. All right, this is not a cooking show.
It'll work. Trust me.
It's not a cooking show. All right.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I don't
next.
made one. I'll find out. We're gonna have to make it this weekend though. But oh my god, it looks absolutely freaking spectacular. Like I said, Scotch egg. I'm dying to try this now. And I'm seeing comments here, Greg, who I believe I remember seeing him in the Giants Insider is British as well. He said yes, it's a British thing, which is funny because it's called Scotch eggs. Connor says love Scotch eggs. So we started the Scotch egg show here. So Greg says there are stocked eggs and Scotch eggs. One is hard-boiled egg. The other is a mashed up egg inside. Ooh, that sounds good as well.
But what do they cook the sausage on?
I just love learning new foods, guys. I just do. And you know what? This is a rule I have in general when I go out to eat. Like, I don't want to go somewhere where I get a burger. I can make a burger at home. I can probably make it better than the goddamn restaurant's going to make it. But this kind of stuff,
it's got to be a really good burger.
But I'm saying this kind of stuff, like I never heard of this stuff before. Great, spectacular. I want to try it.
Oh yeah.
You know, it happened to be a pub, so it's kind of like pub food. So I mean, it's going to be burger kind of thing. But I did a fried shrimp. Actually.
I'm a sucker for pub food.
Connor says there's plenty of videos on YouTube for making Scotch eggs. I think all of a sudden, if you look, we've got like 10 comments here on just Scotch eggs now. Apparently, this is a bigger thing than we realized because you never heard it before. I hadn't heard it before yesterday.
Chips this weekend.
Oh my gosh, I really want to try it now. Anyway, back to the games. By the way, can you tell I haven't had dinner yet? I need dinner.
Right, same here. All right, talk about a game that should be on Thursday night prime time, where Amazon should be getting. Everyone that has Amazon should get a refund on the game. You got the Raiders going to Chicago to play the Bears.
That is an Amazon-ready game. Ooh.
You got Jimmy G that's been in the hospital with back injury, and then you got Justin Fields that's been out with a dislocated thumb, some kind of thumb injury, and he can't grip a football. So you're probably going to look like a preseason game. Grip. Oh, I see what you did there. So it's going to be like a preseason game in week 7 here. So don't expect much out of this. The Bears are home, so they're giving 3 in this. Like they got no respect at home. This is amazing. And the over/under, talk about overcorrection, is 37.5. This is going to be a slap fest game where you should be cooking, making your Scotch eggs and fish and chips over, drinking a beer, and forgetting all about this game. I'm taking the Raiders to win because I think Hoyer has a better chance to win than the backup quarterback at the Bears.
Tyson Bagent, by the way, is his name. We've talked about him multiple times in the show.
Listen, is he going to start it? Because there's also talks of someone else starting over there as well.
Nope. Tyson Bagent. It's got to be him. God damn it! So I can prove myself right that he's a legit NFL quarterback. Again, I'm not saying he's a starter, but he's a legit NFL backup. He's going to be.
So yeah, I think Hoyer could get to Adams. So I'm going to go with the Raiders in this. I think the Raiders obviously going to beat that spread as well, and I'm going to go under because I don't think any of these teams are going to be able to put up points. But the Raiders' defense is probably the best part of this whole game. Like by far, the Raiders' defense will be able to stop the Bears. But the Raiders' offense won't be able to put anything up.
So
with the lackluster Bears defense.
I'm calling it for the Raiders as well. I'm with you. I'll take a veteran quarterback over a rookie quarterback any day of the week. So obviously I think that they'll win the spread then, since 3 points is nothing major. I actually have the over on this. Something just tells me that there's going to be some points scored this game, because the Bears have given up a lot of points in a lot of different games too as well. They have some good players in that defensive line, but that's still a defense coming together. They don't even have a defensive coordinator since theirs got their house raided. I don't even know the whole story on that still. So yeah, to me, I think there's going to be some points put up here. Nothing too crazy, but keep in mind, even a 24-21 kind of game is still enough at that point to beat this kind of low spread number. That's the only reason. If you put up a regular spread, like a 42-44 kind of number, I might go under at that point. But at 37.5, I got to go over.
I'm going with a 9-16, three field goals. One's going to be 2 touchdowns, 1 missed field goal, and a extra point and a field goal. Yeah, it's going to be terrible.
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 All right.
Terrible.
Up next, talk about terrible. You got some Browns.
Terrible.
I mean, Browns. You got the Browns playing
the Browns just beat the 49ers. You can't even say that anymore.
I still call them Brown Saints because there's some shitheads playing for them.
Looks to me like the best part of you ended up as a Brown stain in your mama's mattress.
Oh, snap.
I think you've been cheated. I'll tell you, private. 5'9". I didn't know they stack shit that high.
Oh, here we go.
Full Metal Jacket.
Right.
Oh, yes. Good movie. Good movie.
That's a great movie that has like 2 movies inside of one. You got the boot.
Yes.
You got
Yes. The second half is like a sequel. Once they go to Vietnam, it's like a sequel. It really is. And the first movie is so much better than the second.
100%.
I could just stop right there. Gomer Pyle does what he does. I'm not to give it away in case somebody hasn't watched this 40-year-old movie. But Gomer Pyle does what Gomer Pyle does. And then, yeah, it's like I can just cut the movie off right then and there. I'm good.
Yeah, amazing actors that had all.
By the way, you know who played Gomer Pyle, right?
Yeah, Kingpin. I just can't think of.
Yes, Vincent D'Onofrio.
That's it. I was
Yep.
going to call him William D'Onofrio. I knew it was wrong.
Here we go. All right, back to the game.
All right, so you get the Browns.
Spend too much time on Full Metal Jacket, Scottish eggs, and all these kind of things.
You get the Browns going to play the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. The Colts
definitely get some Browns after the Scottish eggs.
There we go. Oh, you definitely get some Browns instead of that. The Colts are +2, and the over/under is a 39 in this game. Drew.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go with the Browns because we already know what's going on. Obviously, the quarterback situation for the Colts sounds like Anthony Richardson's going to have that surgery, going to be shut down for the year. So we don't know what's going on with the Browns quarterback situation at all. Is Watson going to come back? Is he going to keep on collecting a paycheck and sit on the massage table? We don't know. But in the end, if the Browns can beat the 49ers, I have to think they can beat the Colts. And the way they will is because that defense is just goddamn dominant. So I'm going to trust that they can beat Gardner Minshew and the Colts here. I think the Colts will hang in there because in the end, the Colts are a scrappy team. But when you got just 2-point differential, it's hard for me to change who I will pick on the over-under. I'm sorry, on the spread pick because of that. So I'm going to say the Browns win, the Browns cover, and I'm going to also say under on the points because of that Browns defense. You know, if PJ Walker is a quarterback, they probably won't score a ton of points, obviously. But it's going to hard to score a lot of points against them as well because that Browns defense is just absolutely freaking spectacular.
Yeah, I think 2 backup quarterbacks once again are playing these games against 2 great defenses. Did you take the over/under in this? I'm sorry.
I took the under.
Took the under. All right, so I agree trifecta with you. I think the Browns are going to win. I think that it's a better defense of the 2 defenses. I think both offenses are terrible. I think there's a little bit more talent that's putting together right now with the Browns. They've operated well enough to beat the Niners, who are very well rounded.
As we know.
The Colts.
We faced.
Yeah, the Colts have some talent, but they also have a lot of issues going on. Like JT, what's going on with him? He's going to be limited count again? Probably. Against this defense?
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting part of it. Will Jonathan Thomas actually even play? Jonathan Taylor going to play even
Wrong
against
JTT.
wrong JTT. Will Tim Allen let him out of the house? I mean, but I mean, will he even play? Because he just signed. He didn't even. I don't think he even played a snap last week. So
he was limited. I think he had I think they gave him 10 snaps or something like that.
I'll look it up real quick for you. I really don't think he played a single game. I really don't.
I'm
single snap.
I think he got 2 points in DraftKings.
Yeah, I mean, but let's see here. I'm looking it up for you here real quick. So Indianapolis at Jacksonville. Yeah, he did have 8 attempts.
I was far off from saying 10.
Yeah, I mean, and he had 6 the week before. So yeah, he's done a little bit, but nothing crazy at that point. You don't really hear him even on the stat lines. It's crazy. Watch they sign him.
They got Moss back there. Well, they got Moss back there, who's obviously has not been sharing the field because he's been fantastic. So maybe it's trade bait for a JTT. I don't know. Damn, JTT,
his yards per carry average so far this year is 2.6 yards. 2.6 yards. He's in Josh Jacobs category.
Woof.
By the way, I got a comment as Connor is also commenting right now in the video. Every single one of our comments so far tonight, basically, since we've talked about Scottish eggs, has been Scottish eggs or Full Metal Jacket. Not a single football related comment.
I see my favorite goofballs out there.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's funny. No single comment. What do you think of the game? What do you think of this player? It's all Scottish eggs, Full Metal Jacket.
We're going to listen to football in the background as we talk about how we're going to make dinner tomorrow night. But yeah,
we could do it with a what's your name, Julia Child voice. First, you get the hard-boiled egg, then you put the sausage around the egg.
But how do you get the sausage to stick to the egg?
Oh no, my blouse is on fire. Old Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, yeah.
He turned on SNL. Oh, I nicked my finger.
I was about to go Mrs. Doubtfire.
Wait, that was Mrs. Doubtfire. You're right. That was Mrs. Doubtfire with that. But the nicked finger was Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd did that at SNL. It was like blood squirting everywhere. All right. Anyway, back to football.
But yeah, Browns under. Before we get sidetracked again.
So we agree. Next game.
Yeah, up next, you got the Bills going into Foxborough to play the lackluster Bill Belichick.
What
Patriots.
does the Foxborough say? My team sucks. My team sucks.
Pats are giving up 5 in this, or the half point. Wow. Talk about respecting Bill Belichick, who's got blown out pretty much the past 3 weeks. Hold
on, we have a football comment. We have one football comment. Thank you, Connor. Anyway, go ahead, Rob.
The Pats are plus 0.5, half point in this game, which is really trying to give some respect to these teams. Is it a typo? Or is it supposed to be plus 5, Drew?
It's plus 5.
Okay. There's a decimal there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, plus 5, not plus 0.5.
I was about to say that makes a little more sense there. Over under in this game is 41.5. Actually, as I looked at this early in this week, it was at 45. So talk about Vegas overcorrect in this game. Yeah, I pretty much already announced how I feel about this game as I announced this game. Bill Belichick can't get it right. The Bills are coming off a lackluster performance when it was supposed to be one of those explosion games after having a bad game. They are ranked, I think, 3rd or 4th in offense in the league right now and 6th in defense. And the Giants held in with them until the very end with their backup quarterback.
Yay, moral victory.
This is a get-right game for the Bills. It's a moral victory for the Bills. Plus,
do they really need a get-right victory? I mean,
they do.
They still beat us.
Well, they should have spanked us.
I know.
It should have been the over.
We just didn't bend over and take it. That's more on us than them.
Yes. This game will be the over. I think this is the spanking that you're going to see. Plus, the Bills in the past 4 years have just had the Patriots number. So this is the game where you see it get right. I can see this. I can see the Bills beating the Pats by 2 touchdowns in this game in the over, and they'll be putting up like 38 by themselves. Drew, thoughts? Hot takes?
Yeah, there should be no closeness in this game whatsoever. I mean, this should be an absolute spank 'em kind of game at that point. Bills over, nice and simple. I mean, look at what the Patriots done the last couple of weeks. The Raiders barely beat them, but before that, Saints beat them 34-0. Cowboys beat them 38-3. I mean, they're just getting worse and worse as time goes on. And I saw an interesting stat there, basically, that Bill Belichick has the chance to be the all-time loss leader amongst NFL coaches if this continues. Like this year, he could get that. He could have the most losses in NFL history. I think he's like 8 away right now from that total. So, yeah,
he's too busy thinking about the ultimate like win record with a single team.
He's got 10 more games to go. So if they go 2-8 or worse this year, he's gonna be tied for the most losses all time.
And then how many more he's got before his 300 win with the Patriots?
Oh, 300th, I don't know.
Or 300 overall.
Like I said, he's gonna probably have it. Let's be honest. He's probably gonna have it. I mean, his record has not been very good post Brady. He's let's see,
but he's still close to like 8 wins since post Brady.
299. 299 is where he's at win wise. He'll get 300. But honestly, if this continues, I think
we'll see at that point.
If this continues, he's got to back down. He's got to move on. It's time to retire at that point.
Yeah,
I don't know who he puts in his place there. Bill O'Brien, Josh McDaniels is gone now. Maybe his son, who knows? But yeah, he'll get some kind of glorified position within the Patriots still at that point. Obviously, as a senior advisor or something like that, and walk away hopefully, because it's just I don't want to see him be like the Willie Mays of coaches. Like don't get me wrong, I didn't watch Willie Mays play baseball. Obviously, it's a different one there, but I always heard about that growing up. Willie Mays like stumbling around center field at Shea Stadium for the Mets at that point, just embarrassing himself because he just couldn't do what he used to do at all, and just still kept getting paid by the Mets there and kept putting him out there. But I don't want that to happen to Bill Belichick. He's got a great career, one of the best coaches of all time. Take it, run, go.
He's the second oldest in the league next to as a head coach next to Pete Carroll,
who looks 20 years younger than him.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I don't know what diet Pete Carroll is on, but let's find out. Let's do it.
It's probably the vegan diet they have in Seattle compared to all the crap, steak cheese sandwiches they have out in Boston.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, back to the game. We're sidetracked again. My God, we can eat some Ritalin tonight.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we agreed, right? You took the over in this game.
We did.
Yeah. Trifecta. On to the next. Drew, it's your time to give your immediate, quick thought, because we are going to be talking about this tomorrow night. You got the Commanders going into MetLife to play the Giants. The Giants are +2 in this game. Over under is 39.5. Quickly, thoughts.
Yes. So for those who don't watch, this is what we do. We do not tell you any of our thoughts whatsoever on the Giants game. We do that on the preview episode, which will be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shameless plug. So Giants under. Let's start the win streak, guys. Let's get it rolling.
That's our second trifecta in a row. Could we make it a third one? Coming up next. Actually, that is our third trifecta in a row.
Let's go. Whoop,
boom.
Whoop.
How am I supposed to?
That's how I keep my lead. I match what you do.
You son of a gun. Hey, listen, I tried to cheat and put poopy pants in all your spread picks.
This is the last time I share a spreadsheet with you.
Up next, you got the Falcons. You got the Falcons going to Tampa Bay playing the Bucks.
What the Buck?
What the Bucks? The Falcons are +2.5 in this game, and the over/under is 38. Drew, so far we had 2 spread picks. I'm sorry, 2 over-unders over 40 points. Just reiterating what I said at the beginning of the show, this is a 38 spread. Do you want to go or should I go since you had the quick?
You go.
All right.
You go.
This is a divisional. It's going to be a nasty defensive game. Bucks are going to pull it out. Bucks are going to cover with that plus 2.5 against the Falcons. And I think it's going to be an under because I think this is going to be a slot fest divisional game. And it's probably going to be close to like a 14-17, maybe a 23-10 game. I don't expect much out of this. Offensively, I should say.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I can tell you there's a lot of talk right now amongst Buck fans, since I live here in Tampa Bay, talking about they're still not sure about Baker Mayfield. They think that Kyle Trask, who was the former Florida Gator quarterback, who was a 2nd-round pick for them a couple of years ago, maybe should get a shot at playing in the season and see what happens. I can tell you this: Baker beat him in the preseason. Tom Brady was not a fan of Trask. That was pretty well known. He didn't openly, publicly say it, but it was a kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, known secret. So yeah, that doesn't speak very well for the kid. But yeah, for some reason, there's still this fan base out there that wants Kyle Trask, not Baker Mayfield, to be the quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. Makes no sense.
Yeah, no, none at all. You're winning. Shut up. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Enjoy.
You're 3-2. Like, oh yeah, we're supposed to win 3 games all season. We've already won 3. Let's change the quarterback. Idiots.
Yeah, you guys got to lose another 3 in a row. Then you can talk about that.
Yeah, go on a losing streak and then maybe change the quarterback while you're winning. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and I talked down about Baker going into this year. I still don't think he's the answer over there. I think he's a little thing going on. But he's winning you games. You can't take him out. Not yet.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah.
But did you give your pick? Sorry, we're going to rant on Baker.
Oh, yeah, no. I gave it right away. I said the Bucks win. The Bucks beat the spread, and they do it in the under. See,
here's my whole thing is I don't know which way to go in this game. I really don't. This is a pick'em game for me. I wouldn't go near this game with a 10-foot pole.
El Paso.
With my 10-foot pole. So I think it's quite the kickstand. I never fall over.
Yeah.
So I just keep his balance though. So I think that I'm picking the Bucks to win because I do think they're going to be the winners, but I'm going to pick the Falcons on the spread because I'm just hedging my bet that way. I am picking the over on the points because the thing with this is that when they get 2 guys who played in, 2 teams that play in the same division like that and they see each other twice a year, there's typically going to be some points scored because the offenses know the defenses pretty well. So I think we're going to see some points here. It's not going to be a high scoring game. Another game is going to be like a 17-24 kind of game or 17-21 kind of game. But just enough. Again, 38 points is so low. I got to do it.
Yeah, I get it. But both these teams have played very well and had betting-wise taking the under statistically has won you money. So I'm going to go with statistics on this one.
I go with what the famous Samuel Clemens, a.k.a. Mark Twain, said. There are lies, there are damn lies, and then there are statistics.
Listen, you could twist statistics whatever you want, but when the Falcons, for their games that they played so far this year, have been in the under, and the Bucks have 3 games in the under, you got to go under. They both have buys, no?
Down under.
Down under. All right. Up next.
Hold on. You know what up next is? You know what up next is?
I was about to say the last of the 1 o'clock games.
No. Up next is the time to pay the bills.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. Buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
I feel like I have to go into our actual YouTube chat here because I'm seeing like Deb just posted a thing. It said face blue, wide eyes. That's how it comes up on here. But if you go to the actual chat, you see it's like a smiley face, like a blue surprise thing at that point there. I can see it. So can't really see it, can't
Ooh.
focus. So yeah, apparently they don't like us there on StreamYard to use the actual pictures like that. But it's funny, the
Emojis.
smiley faces are there. The smiley faces are there. Like Connor's just was on there. So let's talk with StreamYard about this. We want to see the actual picture. All right. Next game. Let's go.
Lots of those 1 o'clock games.
A ton of 1 o'clock games.
Oh yeah. You got the Steelers going into LA playing the Rams. Steelers are +3.
I'm gonna ram them.
Which means the Rams just have the home field advantage in this game, which is kind of surprising to me. Over under in this is 44. Drew?
Yeah, there were some really surprising games, I thought, in this one. I really did, as far as some of the picks here. This is one of them. I mean, the Steelers only get 3 points the way they've been playing lately. I'm kind of shocked by that. I think people just expect them to turn it around because, that's just what typically happens there with the Mike Tomlin coach team. He barely made it to 500 last year. Is this the year that he drops below 500 for a season finally? I mean, eventually you coach enough, it's going to happen. I think they do lose this game. I think that the Cooper Kupp Puka Nacua combo is very difficult to cover overall. I got the Rams winning pretty big here. I got the under on the points, though, and it's not because of the Rams. It's because of the Steelers. Though I do think TJ Watt will be introducing himself probably to Matt Stafford 1 or 2 times.
You're probably right. But this Rams seems pretty healthy for the most part. I know they have some questions in the backfield coming into this game, but Puka Nacua, even their tight end over there, what's his face?
So tight.
He's so tight. He's been playing so good.
So good.
Cooper Kupp's coming out. I just don't have faith in Kenny Pickett, but I do have faith in this Rams team to probably make the playoffs, be a playoff team, squeaking in with the wild card. And I do think it's going to be a domination. I think Kenny Pickett will meet Sam Darnold quite a few times as well, but I think they'll put it up enough for the over in this game.
How good a division is that NFC West all of a sudden? Like, we knew the Niners to be good. We knew the Seattle Seahawks probably at least decent. They've been pretty good.
They're probably a playoff team as well.
And then you got, on top of that, you got the Rams, going back to their old ways to a certain degree. And the Cardinals were supposed to be the worst team in all of football, basically. And while their record doesn't show it, they played some close games. They played with, they haven't been the easy win as the Cowboys. So
they kind of look like the NFC East of last year.
They do to a certain degree because the Commanders last year were much better than the Cardinals are this year. But a poor man's version of it. But like I said, it's interesting how this division has kind of really been a good upcoming division this year. So, kudos to them on that.
Yeah, kudos. All right. 4
I want the
games.
little kudos snack bar. It's the name of the snack bar, little granola bar thing.
Kudos. Some
Scottish eggs and some kudos.
Just go from Scotch in bed.
I'm giving it that I got the captain.
Just want to go.
Beat me up, some Scottish eggs.
Like Homer Simpson's face.
Oh my god. All right. You know what? I want to do that now. I want to cut the hard-boiled egg in quarters and then do mini Scottish eggs so I can just pop them like bonbons like Peg Bundy on the couch.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
It would be spectacular. All right, next
Speaking
game.
about the Cardinals, speaking about that division, you got the Arizona Cardinals going to play the Seattle Seahawks.
Cacaw versus cacaw.
Exactly. A lot of
double cacaw.
Tiny birds.
Birds everywhere. Little tiny non-scary birds and fake birds.
the Seahawks are giving up 8 points in this game. Cardinals are +8. The over-under is 44.5, which this actually has dropped since I've seen by a point. But woo-wee.
Woo-wee!
I talked about it last week. I think the Cardinals have played well, but I think that engine's running out of gas, and I think they've are about to start playing to a little below their expectations coming into the season and not above it like they have been. I took the Cardinals to lose this game. I took the Seahawks to beat them in the spread pretty soundly. And I took it in the under because I'm not going to have faith in the Cardinals to put up that many points, especially with Connor getting beat up. And their running back, which I just been playing on his name, that replaced Connor, also had a big dud weekend.
So
James Conner, not Connor Wallace.
So here's my thought process with this game. The Cardinals have played very good defense. Their offense has been sus, to say the least. So the Steelers, on the other hand, have put up some points mostly because of injuries. We haven't really seen the defense healthy yet, but the defense has been question mark. A lot of teams, obviously not the Giants because we suck, but a lot of teams have put up a lot of points and a lot of yards on them. Remember what happened to Andy Dalton and the Panthers came in. It's a very close game, and Andy Dalton looks like a very young version of Andy Dalton.
That firecracker.
So I think that helps the Cardinals' offensive deficiencies kind of be hidden a little bit there. I think what's going to happen is I think you'll see the Seahawks win, but I think the Cardinals will cover that spread. I think under on the points as well, which I know sounds weird saying that the Seahawks don't have the best defenses there. But even with a bad defense, the Cardinals are never going to be a 30-point juggernaut. So, I'm looking at a game like a 21-24 kind of game at that point there. A 17-20 kind of game, like a game that's within like a field goal or two kind of situation there, and it's going to be hit or miss. I'm not confident on the over under part, but to me, I think the Cardinals, beating the spread will be probably the most surefire pick there on this whole lineup here in this game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with my picks, I don't have that faith. I think that the wheels are falling off the wagon.
Boom, 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 boom.
And as much as it sounds weird, it's been over a decade at this point, but
you gotta have faith. Gotta have faith.
Smith had faith that he's doing his thing. He's one of the only quarterbacks last week to have over 300 yards.
Gee, now.
Yeah. Just saying. All right. The next game. Packers are going into the Mile High Club playing.
Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin.
Going into Colorado with them. Damn it. Anyway.
Couldn't do it. You couldn't continue the rap.
Couldn't do it.
You couldn't continue the freestyle.
Broncos are +1.
I
can't help it. That didn't rhyme either. Over under is 45. This might be the highest spread we've had tonight, and it is.
For now, we got more coming.
We got more coming. I'm just saying. Talk about
the next two are higher.
I'm just pointing out my prediction that I said before. Talk about a big auto correction of last week. All right, Drew, what are you feeling about this game?
I am feeling that the Packers are going to do what every team has done to the Broncos, basically to score a shitload of points and embarrass them. So I got the Packers to win, Packers to cover. I got the over on the points because the Packers may score 45 on their own. And it's going to be another sad day for the Broncos. And much like a very tall bridge, watching a Bronco game may soon require a suicide hotline just to avoid any issues. I'm just saying, like that's got to be embarrassing. Like giving up 70 points, 50 points, 40 points. It's like, oh my god! Like,
and they were supposed to be such good defense this year.
They were the best defense, pretty much. Yeah. Like, oh my god!
Yeah, this great coach you hired. At this point, I think he's tanking. I think Sean Payton's tanking. I think it's some better draft capital.
Tanking for Caleb.
Maybe it's like
Honestly, that's their
if
only
you
way
look
of
at-
getting a better quarterback is to go ahead and get one of the draft. They can't afford two, and Russell Wilson's contract, you're going to have him for another year or two.
yeah, I mean, like if you look at it, he's the play calling. It's not even just Russell; it's the play calling. It's been bonkers. Like, what are you doing? Like at this point, like Sean Payne was on one of his buddies' TV shows. I forget which one. And he was talking about like, hey, I wouldn't surprise me if certain teams would tank for some higher quarterbacks since it's high draft quarterback year. And he's not going to get number one. Panthers sold their soul to the Devils, to the Browns.
The Bears.
It's the Bears. Wrong B team. Wrong crappy team.
We got the B.
We got the B. Anyway, the Bears.
We got it.
They're probably going to have the number 1 and 2 pick go to this draft.
That's talk about a scary proposition. I mean, granted, the Bears need all the help they can get, but that's
it. And I don't know if the Bears could do that. Sorry, Ken.
The Bears. Right as Ken comes on, I see him there.
Hey, listen. In all fairness, the Panthers are going to get the number 1 draft pick, which they sold
the Bears will get the number 2, but
yeah. But no, didn't they give up the number 1 draft pick to the Bears last year to move up? So
yes, so the Bears will have their pick plus the Panthers pick.
Yeah.
So the Broncos may settle for number 3.
So yeah, I just don't. On the side rant of going on to other crappy teams, back to the Broncos. The other
back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
I don't feel comfortable putting my money on the Broncos, so I'm going pack, and I went in the under in this game because I don't have faith in the Broncos to put up that many points. And I wish I'm wrong, and I wish you were right and get the trifecta on this because I would love that for my fantasy team. But I just don't see Love having 3 touchdowns and AJ, or not AJ, but Aaron Jones coming back and having 2 touchdowns, trying to make this over by themselves. But I hope I'm wrong. And I hope you're right.
We shall see. Next up, you got the Chargers playing the Chiefs. Chargers are plus 5.5. Over under is 48. Boom. Connor's trying to get us sing songs of Wham. Before you go.
That's it. Putting my short shorts on.
I think that wasn't George Michael's, that song. I think that was Wham back then when he was still in a duet there with some other guy I can't remember the name of. This is way before he got caught doing dirty deeds in the bathroom. Dirty deeds.
I think of Zoolander.
Cheap.
Or for free.
All right. free hand, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I kind of talked about this game a little bit last week when I talked about how I think the Chiefs are going to win in the under because they're not going to show the Broncos or the Chargers what they got in the tank offensively. They're going to run the ball.
And they run so far away.
Listen, I took the Chiefs and the under against the spread Thursday Night Football. Won some money. Just like I called it. Anyway, Chiefs are going to win this game.
Must be nice to live in a state where you can gamble.
Oh, it's fantastic. Chiefs are going to cover the spread. The Chargers find ways to lose the ball. They have opportunities to get more points up. This is a divisional game, but the Chargers,
coach sucks.
Mahomes has just been,
sucks.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if you could do like a little parlay and you go, all right, going into the at the end of the first half, Chargers are winning, but the Chiefs beat them in the spread in the second half for the final. I also went with the under in this as well.
Yeah, I'm with you on the under. I got the Chiefs to win. I do think the Chargers will cover the spread. And I think the main reason I have is just because of the fact that I don't think this will be a very high-scoring game. The Chiefs defense has been pretty good lately. The offense has had trouble getting, points on the board, probably because it's the island of misfit toys as far as wide receivers, former Giants left and right in that receiver core. When you're picking off our, wide receivers from last year, that's like somebody picking up our offensive linemen from this year. That's how bad it is. Like, it's not pretty when you're getting, Kadarius Toney, Richie James, these kind of guys. Like, it's not good.
Yeah.
They need a number one. They do
you.
need a number one. And I think that I thought Sky Moore would be the guy. I really did think that. But he hasn't shown up like that. I think that in the end, again, it'll be a closer game. It'll probably be they win like a field goal or something like that. And I think it'll be under. I think it'll be like a 24-21 kind of game there. So Chiefs win, Chargers cover, under.
I hear what you're saying with the whole receiver thing, but let's go back here. You said the elite quarterback doesn't need a great receiver to show how great he is. Well, guess what?
No.
Patrick Mahomes is the best in the game, and he's going to do what Bill Belichick and Tom Brady did for 2 decades in New England.
Hasn't played like the best of the league this year. I'm saying
don't have
point
to.
blank.
All right,
He's having an off year. Needs some help.
What's their record?
5-1.
Okay, so how much of an off year are they really having? Before we hit the panic button, how much of an off year are they really having? Or are they running the ball? Or are they running the ball more, burning out the clock, and not putting up as many points? Because both could be true, and I wouldn't raise a flag saying they're having an off year just because they're not putting as many points up on the board. They're going to save that for the second half of the year. I'm not hitting a red panic button on this team yet.
Now, what is interesting, though, is the Jets did send McCole Hardman back to the Chiefs recently. So they traded him. It's an exchange of late-round picks. So the Jets get a 6th-round pick from the Chiefs, and the Chiefs get a 7th-round pick. It's one of those kind of things. I mean, he got like no playing time with the Jets whatsoever. So I'm not so sure that is necessarily the huge pickup for them. Maybe it helps because it's at least a guy that Mahomes has got some history with there, so to speak. But yeah, it's like I said, something's got to give with that offense. It's going to come down to a point where there's going to face a team the defense can't stop, and Mahomes going to have to put up some points. He hasn't done it really. Yeah,
when he has to, he has to. Andy Reid's been the quarterback. Andy Reid's been the head coach this year that goes, oh, we're up by 10 points in the second half. Run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball. Oh, we just burnt out 8 minutes off the clock. Throw the ball. Run the ball.
Throw the ball. Throw the ball. Throw the ball.
No, he's a big runner. Burn out the clock. So I'm not that worried. All right.
Burning up the clock.
We agree for the most part. Except for the spread.
Yes.
Going into Sunday night football.
Yeah, except the spread pick. Sunday night.
Night. You got the
yes.
high-flying, fast-paced Miami Dolphins going to play the Eagles.
Eagles.
In Philadelphia. The Eagles.
Eagles.
Dolphins are +2 in this game. That is Vegas trying to say very nicely that we think Dolphins are probably going to win this game, but we have to give the Eagles the respect at home. And the over-under on this is 52 points. Drew, what's your thoughts on this?
The day was September 10th, 2023. The teams were the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots. Mac Jones, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day. If Mac Jones can do that, what do you think Tua can do against this Philadelphia Eagle defense? This defense has not played the same. I'm telling you right now, Tyreek Hill is just stretching right now, ready to go. I think that this is going to be the double loss at that point there. I think it's going to be the Dolphins winning. Obviously, they're getting points. So they're the spread winner there. I think over on the points as well, because I do think that this is going to be a high-scoring game. And the Dolphins have proven if you want to go to a scoring match, it's going to be hard to beat them. It really is.
Yeah, I agree a lot with what you said there. There we go. There's our bucket of pee.
Now, you have to remember that some people listen to this in audio and don't understand. They're going to think you actually have a bucket of pee.
Hey, how do you guys think we sit
Connor
in
put
this
up a
room?
comment saying, "Hey, what happened to the glass of urine pee? I mean, glass of beer," because that was our former background. And I put it up for a second there to appease him. Got to give the fans what they want. You got to give the fans what they want.
Yeah, the urine. So going back to what we said about the last game, about a 5-1 team that you want to hit the panic button is it's one of these teams, and it's not the team that is playing the visiting team. Well, it's not the visiting team that you should be worried about. The Eagles.
So the team that's playing the visiting team is the home team. Hold on, I'm confused now.
I was like, I had to take that back for a second.
If a train's leaving Albuquerque traveling 76 miles an hour, and another train's leaving Chicago traveling 90 miles an hour.
The Eagles' offense has not played as superb, and no one's given them as much crap as they're giving the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Jalen Hurts and this Eagle offense looks worse than Kansas City. Their defense has degressed big time. No one's hitting the panic button on the Eagles.
I see what you did there. The defense has degressed. Oh.
You see that?
If only you had figured out a way to get Degrassi in there as well. Like,
well, I had Neil deGrasse Tyson's mathematics behind that.
Oh, it didn't work. It didn't work.
No, it did not work. I'm going to take that back. Anyway,
Degrassi was a TV show, by the way.
Touche.
Where Drake got his start. Yes.
This is a return Super Bowl team. They were in the Super Bowl. Everyone talked about how great they were last year. They haven't got off the high horse yet. The defense is down. The offense is down. Granted, Miami's defense is not good. I think they're ranked 28th so far over the 6 weeks of playing.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter because they're number one.
It doesn't matter what your defense does in this case.
High flying offense against a hurt, not just the grass team, but a hurt Philadelphia Eagles defense. Miami, and I took the over in this game because you almost have to when you're playing Miami because they're 5-1 in the over.
There we go.
We're done with Sunday. On to Monday. Boom.
Because all my rowdy friends are here on Monday night.
Monday night. All right, you got the Niners playing the good old Minnesota. Don't you know?
Don't you know now?
The Vikings are plus 6.5 at home.
I bet they have some Scottish eggs there, don't you know?
Oh, they probably definitely do. And the over-under is at 44. Drew, take us home.
Yeah, Niners under. I mean, this is such a slam dunk game. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
So the big question is going to be how healthy are the Niners? Christian McCaffrey is not expected to have a long-term injury. There's talks about sitting him and Debo because of who they're playing. I will say this: don't sleep on the Vikings. There's been a lot of close games, but if those guys are healthy, can play them, and once the game is over and out of reach, then go ahead and do it. But I fully expect them to be, winning this, covering the spread, not by a lot. They'll probably win by like 7 or 10 points. But yeah, I'm a little worried, a little nervous this game, to be honest, because I keep on hearing things that make it seem like they're overlooking the Vikings because there's no Justin Jefferson still, probably with the hamstring issue. They're still a team that can put up some points. They still got, Kirk Cousins, who isn't clutch but is known to put up some points over time. They still have Jordan Addison, who's had a decent rookie year here so far. So let's not fully sleep on them because they're probably the best 1-5 team there is. But again, San Francisco should have this in the bag.
Definitely. I've said this quite a few times. Frisco's probably the best defense in the league right now.
The Browns.
The Vikings offense they had one good game. Second
They've had more than one.
Any given Sunday. You're right. Same with San Francisco. But any given Sunday. Vikings offense is on the higher tier of offenses in this league. I'm not going to say top 5, if you will. But when they play good defenses, Seattle beat them 24-13. When they play the Titans beat them 24-16. When they play the Cardinals won 18-17. When they play the Buccaneers, the Bucs won 20-17. When they played the Eagles, it was 34-28 Eagles. Chargers with a crappy defense beat them 28-24. The Vikings got the win against the Panthers because who can't beat the Panthers? Chiefs beat them 27-20. And they beat up on the Bears because the Bears can beat themselves better than no one else can.
The Bears.
So I am going to say, without a doubt, that I agree with you. It is going to be Niners under. And I almost took the over just because I think both teams could put up some points, but without the possibility of CMC and Debo, I went with the under.
Yeah, I'm with you on that
So
one.
if you're going to bet the over under this game, wait till closer to the kickoff.
Yeah, no little better on who's playing.
Yeah.
Exactly. All righty. Let's get to some of the comments here about Scottish eggs and Full Metal Jacket before we go. They're really most of them are. Let's see. Dakota says, "Love you guys. Got to go." Oh, I forgot. I had a hashtag Go Birds and I put it up. Oh, God damn it. He got me. This is what happens. He slowed me in with the love you guys part. And then I was like, oh, that's nice of him. Damn it. Connor puts up, Peggy, Al, did you miss me? Al Bundy with every bullet so far. And Deb like that too. Yeah, I love Married with Children. That's like one of my favorite shows of all time. It's right up there with, to me, All in the Family is the best TV show ever. Absolutely hilarious. You know, people probably would never like it nowadays because obviously Archie was quite the bigot and everything. But a lot of that show is prefaced on showing how stupid he was for having his ideas he had. So, like I said, good show.
Yeah,
let's see. Connor says, that's one of my favorites from the show. Connor says, I'm not lying. I like the Lions this year. See what I did there? No, what'd you do? What'd you do? I don't get it.
You spelled something wrong there, I think.
Connor says, beer with popcorn? I didn't think I ever did that. And then Greg, yes, it's a British thing. He goes to the Scottish egg here. Connor loves Scottish eggs. We started to have Greg's thing there with the Scotch eggs and all. Yep, there's Deb saying you put the egg in the middle of a homogeneous meatball, Rob. Then Connor says plenty of videos. Yep, we already did that. Then Connor messes up some Scottish saying. He says, oops, Alba Grubath. Dennis says, my favorite goofballs. Greg says, if the Giants come to UK, you can come over and sample the great British cuisine as well as watching the game. And they went last year, but listen, the nice thing is as we get going more and more, we can go, Rob and I, and we can use it as a tax write-off eventually. That'd be nice.
Hopefully, yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be very nice. Connor says they make it best in Scotland. Dennis says first half of Full Metal Jacket is the best war movie of all time. And Connor says, this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun. And then he says, without me, my rifle is useless. Without my rifle, I am useless. I must fire my rifle true. I must shoot straighter than my enemy who is trying to kill me. Can we get some crossing patterns? Oh, here we go. It's the actual legitimate one. We got some actual football comments here now. Connor says, can we get some crossing patterns for some easy yards this week? We have fast, tough guys. Use them. Yeah, 100%. I'm kind of shocked about the lack of crossing routes in general this year. People that remember go old school there, that's what made OBJ so great. His crossing patterns, and you get the yak afterwards. That's what he did. I think it's something we're definitely missing here on this team. Greg says, quite possibly Bills last season. Talk about Belichick there. Deb says, I read Once a Giant by Gary Myers. Excellent read. Oh, that's good. I'll have to check that one out there. I always like doing books. Pat Traina has one I haven't read yet as well. I had on the wall for a while too. The Tales from New York Giants sidelines there by Paul Schwartz as well. It's always nice to have, get some stories from people on the inside there. Connor gives some news here on the Belichick, because we're talking about that before. He says he needs, conversely, 30 regular season wins and 18 total wins to pass Don Shula's records of 328. That's an autograph. It's not a book. 328 and 347. He says, and this part may have changed too. The regular for losses is shared by Dan Reeves and Jeff Fisher with 165. Tom Landry has the most total losses at 178. Bill Belichick is only 13 away losses. He said he's 8 away from Reeves and Fisher at 165 at that point. I think I remember right. I had it up here. Yeah, he's at 157 right now with losses. So he's just about there for the record on that. So yeah, he'll probably hit. Let's see. Connor says Baker Mayfield deserves his gig. Yeah, he does. He should be the starting quarterback for the Bucs. Connor says 10-foot pole. Let me whip this out. Graham's will kill Steelers. Deb says can he pick it? And Connor says Steelers, they beat Browns, Raiders, Ravens, so they'll be okay, but they will lose this week. And then Connor says, can he pick a Steelers QB?
Can he pick it?
Deb says, thank you, Connor. Connor says defense should say that he can pick it. Yes, he can. Bye touchdown. And then he says, thank you, Roberto. I was confused. Then Ken comes on. Come on. And says Bears have a lot of picks. So this year, the Bears have the pick in the first round from the Panthers. I didn't look it up while we were talking, and they have the an extra 4th round pick I think it was from the Patriots as well, or somebody like that. There's one like mid round pick they had extra. Yeah. So not a ton of extra picks, but having those first 2 picks potentially, that's huge. Ask Houston what that does. Will Anderson now and C.J. Stroud, they had pick 2 and 3 this year. So, and there's him trying to get me to sing again. Ken says the Chiefs need a wide receiver bad. They just got Harmon back. I alluded to that. Connor says apparently in Terminator voice, no problemo. Deb, I have to do it that way. Deb says, don't forget the Chiefs have Tony. Oh yeah, we forgot they have all pro Kadarius Tony.
27 million hamstrings.
Connor says, Roberto, are you cutting down a tree later with your Paul Bunyan shirt?
Well, in the morning,
we'll sleep in it. Go Dolphins. Connor says, hey, what happened to this? We're talking about there. He says, oh, no, I prefer the football background. He likes the football background. It's a little dark for my taste. I need to lighten it up for us, I think, a little. I kind of put it up really quick for us here today.
Yeah. A little more green, a little more football in the background section.
Yeah.
I like the Browns football.
I didn't create this. I stole it from somebody else. It was free to use, okay? I don't make graphics like this. I'm not that talented. Connor says, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And then he goes and...
It doesn't matter.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? It's Scottish eggs. So Connor says... Connor's doing now. He's doing Rowdy Friends here now. He's getting into the Hank Williams here, and then Deb asks for an encore. He says, "Thanks, Deb."
Bravo.
Let's see. Connor says, "Sad girl from Married with Children is so sick now." Yeah. Christina Applegate's had tons of medical issues over the years. So, but she's done other shows as well too since then. She's also in the new National Lampoon one they did as well. The Family Vacation, when they redid that with Ed Helms, I think was in it too as well. Remember right? But yeah, that was a good movie. I like that. Anyway, a couple of years ago, I want to say like almost 10 years ago now. I'd have to look it up.
Oh, wait. She was on a Netflix show too with the girl who played Velma in the live action Scooby Doo.
Yes. Vacation came out 2015. So I told you about that. Yeah, Ed Helms, Christina Applegate, Leslie Mann was in there, Chris Hemsworth, Chevy Chase, and Beverly D'Angelo. Because Ed Helms was supposed to be their son in that movie, like going on his family vacation now. So, all right. All right, guys, we'll be back again tomorrow night for you guys. I know you'll miss us. Just 21 and a half hours, and you'll see us again. We'll be back on tomorrow, 8 o'clock, to do the pregame here for the Commanders. Nice that we'll be actually talking optimistic because we think we're going to win. So that's a rarity lately, huh? Optimism from Giants fans. Woo. Whoa. So appreciate you guys listening in. As always, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night, along with the post-game episode we'll always do on game day as well, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, also known as X, and of course, Twitch, and Rob's favorite, my LinkedIn profile. We are back up and going on Twitter, too. I don't know what happened, but it's back up and working again, I see. And, of course, we're on every single audio podcast platform, pretty much known to man, afterwards as well. So, if you do listen to audio platforms on your way into work, maybe miss an episode or something, feel free to pop on there as well. We'll see you guys again tomorrow night. Appreciate you guys popping on, as always. And, of course, as always, Giant fans, go G-Man!
Go G-Man! G-Man!
Go G-Man!
G-Man!
G-Man! Let's see how long we can get it going. G-Man!
Please pop. Oh, G-Man.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?
Thank you to those who have signed up for our silver gold levels of membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.